Send the request to those. Okay. Good morning and a warm welcome. Thank you for making the decision to join the Transformers tribe this morning. I have a huge amount of information that I intend to share with you this morning, and some liberating experience exercises that goes with that. So fasten your safety belt, hold on to your hat. The train is about to leave the station. This is our 13th training session in regards of integration and transformation. And I'm very excited about that. I just want to say something again about integration and transformation. Integration is making those thoughts, that's the teachings that we hear, the fresh teachings, old teachings that became new, let it become part of our habitual thinking. And the only slow down, Orchid. The only way that you can do that is through repetition, because repetition is the mother of all skills. And Romans 12 verse 2 so clearly says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, your brain mind. Okay, so this is important. It's about repetition, 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 repetition is the mother of all skills. So important. And then comes the demonstration. And what I've experienced over the last couple of months, and has just had this revelation, which was down there in the subconscious mind, there can be no demonstration unless there are integration, unless you have changed your thoughts. Now, it's clearly stated in Isaiah, where Isaiah says that God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts, God's ways are higher than our ways. But it does not state that we can't make our thoughts God's thoughts, God-like thoughts, God as God thoughts. So our philosophy is think as God, command as a king, play as a child, and live as a millionaire. So this is important to understand, guys and girls. You can't command as a king unless you think as God. There's no authority unless you rely only solely on your human capacities or authority. And that'll fail you consistently. But if we tap into the God consciousness, God insight-minded, we rely on the authority of God being expressed through us when we command. And when we command in that authority, we know that Job 22:28 becomes a reality for us. What you decree will become a reality for you, and the light of God will shine on your way. So the Spirit of the Lord will go out in front of you and make your way for you easy when we start commanding from the authority of thinking as God. Okay? We are creators next to our God. And one of the things that I've repeatedly said right in the beginning of the Bible, God states to us in Genesis, I have given you dominion and rulership over your universe. Okay, so this is so important. We've been created in the likeness of image of God, and the Bible so clearly states we have been predestined to be conformed to that image of the Christ consciousness. So the Christ consciousness is already inside you. You were born with that Christ consciousness. The Bible says, before the foundations of this earth was laid, you were called out to be holy, blameless, and without lack before God. I like that. So right in your beginning, right from your existence, you were called out. The Christ consciousness is already inside you. But what we have to do now is we have to take our ego and conform that to the Christ consciousness. In other words, we have to exchange our limiting perceptions, limiting beliefs with God's perception and see the whole picture in regards to that. So the moment we tap into think as God, we tap into the wisdom of the Spirit inside us, revealing us the road that we should take. Does it make sense, guys and girls? So, all right. So all our training are dedicated to Transformers worldwide, who has decided to become God inside mind. God decided to become and stay God inside mind. And slow down, okay, there's still some time left. Okay, all right. To make this world a better place for all of God's creatures to live in. Very important. Before we start our training session this morning, my intention is to share with you a testimony about what I've experienced over the last 2 weeks, starting with a very traumatic phone call I had on Tuesday 2 weeks ago. And initially that brought me to a standstill, and thinking about the thought pops into my mind at that stage, is this all worth it? I'm not going to share with you what the phone call was about. I'm just saying that phone call was a traumatic experience for me. I literally started shaking like a leaf in the wind when I had this conversation with that person. And right through that day, the Tuesday and the Wednesday, I felt like oh God, this can't be happening to me again. And then Wednesday evening, I was watching a program on Netflix, and the person that's playing the lead role made this statement. He said, "Human beings go crazy when they think they've lost what they've got." And when he said that, I realized that all my problems were started way back when Alila started getting sick, and then the death and all the stuff that happened after that. I thought that I lost that, but I never had it. You see, we come into this world with nothing, and we will leave this world with nothing. So that means every single thing that we have in our lives is through the grace of God that's just been borrowed to us, if that makes sense. Okay, so just think about what I'm saying here. And when I realized that nothing really belonged to me, so I couldn't really lose it. There was a liberation that took place within my soul, and it was as if a mountain fell off my shoulders. Then came Easter weekend, and on Friday was the crucifixion, and Dad started sharing with me these thoughts, and he said to me, well, you know, Jesus died on the cross as a man, so he also had that doubt and limitations, or else he would not have asked, Father, if this cup, please let it just pass me. And then he said, okay, but not my will be done, but your will be done. And the crucifixion took place. Now, please remember that the people around that crucifixion said to Jesus, healer, heal yourself. So every single thing starts with we as a person making choices, because that's the most important spiritual law that you'll ever experience in your life. Hold before your life and death, you choose. You got that, guys and girls? So this is important to understand. Jesus had to, in his human capacity, make a choice by saying, not my will be done, your will be done. And then in the ninth hour, which is completion, ending, and new beginnings, he died on the cross. And the following day, the Bible says he went down into Hades. And the reason why in the dark night of the soul, describing it in a different way, he went down in Hades, the place of darkness, which is perceived to be the hell. But anyhow, long story short now. But there was a purpose behind that. And he went down there with the idea of the purpose, and the purpose was to set the captives free. So while he was in that situation, the dark night of the soul, in Hades, God wasn't distantiated from him. And that's what we have to understand. That's what Dad shared with me. He said, okay, it does not matter where you go. You lift the rock, Gospel of Thomas, you lift the rock and you'll find me there. You split the wood and you'll find me there. In him we live and move and have our being. God is all over the show. Ain't that awesome? So you can relax. God's got your back. Okay. So Dad said to me, you have to understand your own experience over the last few years, entering often into that dark night of the soul. Now, please remember, David said, even if I enter into the shadows of the valley of death, I will fear no evil because God is with me. But that's not meant to be a once-off experience. David was oftentimes in that dark night, or in the dark night of the soul, in the valleys of the death. But every time he proclaimed, I'm not alone in the situation. God is with me. God goes in front of me. He's in me. He's behind me. He's all over the show. Okay, therefore we can relax about these concepts in our lives and just realize that the Spirit of the Lord will never leave you. God says so clearly in Jeremiah 29:11, I know what the thoughts I have towards you. It's thoughts to prosper you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. And we have to tap into that and to believe that, okay? So I realized that I was in that situation in the dark night of the soul for a specific reason. And that reason for me now, so clearly clarified, is to set the captives free. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit as we go on, but to set the captives free. And this is important to understand because most of humanity out there are captive to their conditioning. Lack is part of their existence. And it's not the love of money that's the root of all evil. It's the love of lack, struggle, that's the root of all evil. And we have to help people to escape from that perception of lack and struggle in their lives, because it's just a thought, it's just a belief system. You were born rich and conditioned to be poor. If that makes sense, guys and girls. So I loved that concept, and I was meditating on that idea the whole Saturday. And Sunday was just a relaxing day for me. And then Monday, getting up, it was the resurrection day. And so clearly Dad said to me, Okkert, it's now the resurrection. You've been through a period from Tuesday, and there's a purpose behind that, because that negative experience triggered a new reality for me. And like I said, it literally fell to me as if mountains fell off of my shoulders. I mean, you can sense my passion in sharing this information with you. It's all of a sudden as if the sun has just risen, the mist is disappeared, and the fog of not understanding is lifting slowly but surely in this perception. And then Dad said to me, "Okay, Orchid, it's resurrection today today. But what do you want to resurrect into?" And that's my challenge to you too, guys. What do you want to resurrect into? The Bible says you have to crucify the old person every single day. But after the crucifixion comes the resurrection. So you have to clarify for yourself, what do I intend to resurrect into? And I said, well, like I've always been, my intention is to resurrect into a light worker, a change agent. I'm a helper. That's what I have been doing all my life. Even when I were in the dark night of the soul experiences, I always reached out to people to help. Everybody that knows me knows that my heart is about helping people, setting the captives free and so forth. Now, from that, on Monday, when I shared that idea, Dad said to me a couple of months ago, last year, in the beginning of the year, he wrote a book. The book's title were From Negativity to Positivity Instantaneously. And the whole theme of the book was about our philosophy, think as God commands a king, play as a child, and then the underlying principle that makes that possible. I don't know how. I only now know that I do. And you just let it go. Okay, so Dad said to me, go and read that book again. So I took the book out. I had a printed version of that. And I sat down on a chair on the patio, and I just started reading the book. It took me 1 hour to read through it. It's not that very long, and now I'm a fast reader. And I wrote the book, so I knew the information in there. So it's just, and I've been teaching on the concept of think as God commands a king, play as a child, live as a millionaire, and I don't know how. I only know how to do it for ages now, but it's just from time to time, it just has been a lip service that I've been sharing with people. Okay. So this time I read through the book, and there was so many new revelations that came out of that. Surrender, being comfortable with the unknown. And it was tremendous to read through that. And once I've done that, Dad said to me, okay, I want you to take that book now, rearrange the chapters in the book, and then rewrite the book. Not necessarily rewriting the whole book, but just go through it and start reading. And so I did that, and I said, but why